Hey everybody, Monkey King Legends here, back with another video. Well, welcome to, I believe this is what part, it's either 4 or 5, of What If Naruto Was Reincarnation of Mori. Well, where we last left off, I believe it was was it right after right after Pain's attack on the village, I believe. Yeah, I think it was. As well, the elders would be, not elders, the five Kage Summon would be called because the Akatsuki has begun attacking all the villages to get their Jinchuriki. As the only Jinchuriki left at this point, I'm going to say are Gaara, Killer Bee, Naruto, and just because I'm going to say Roshi died of old age, so I'm going to say Taiga helped them. So Taiga is the new Five Tails Jinchuriki. Not five, but Four Tails Jinchuriki. So Taiga has Son Goku. So she's a Jinchuriki as well. Yes, I forgot she has Pandora's power as well. So she has her Chariot fully unlocked, all of her full power. She has her armor and the special abilities of her armor, which I have completely forgotten by now. So, you know, the armor is more of an accessory at this point because I don't remember her attacks with the armor. I just know they were really good attacks and she was incredibly powerful. But, yeah, the other villagers do not know of Taiga being the Four Tails from Cherokee. They just think the Four Tails is off somewhere and the Akatsuki captured it. Only the Leaf Village, well, really, no. Only Naruto knows that Taiga is the Four Tails from Cherokee. Orochimaru is still trying to hunt her down because, well, she is an Uzumaki. Well, I'm gonna say she is because I feel like it. Besides, what else would she be? But anyway, Five Kage Summit is called, and well, the same thing happens as in canon, where Obito pops up and declares war on all the great nations. Pretty sure I said Kakashi can use his Mangekyo, but he cannot use the Eternal since he's not in the Chiyo. And he's not compatible with anyone, so there's that. But Naruto, well, actually, I've been thinking about this like all day about how I get this ship to work because I started it off so late in the series. But at the point of where I am, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna have to rush things a bit, and I hate having to rush things. Well, my voice sounds weird. My voice is too deep for recording. Probably speak lighter. Recording voice is too deep. Continuing on with the video. To get address that later. Anyway, Five Kage Summit is called. Obito declares war. Pretty sure, well, it'll be at this point where the villagers find out that Taiga is the Four Tails of Jerky. So, well, Killer Bee, her Naruto and Killer Bee would be escorted to that same little isolated mountain. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. And by this point, Kisame would have already died by Killer Bee, so Killer Bee would have Samehara. It's either Killer Bee would have it or Naruto would have it. It doesn't matter which one because, well, really, Naruto has Yaoi already. Oh wait, no, I guess Samehara is Sasuke. So B would still have his will still be using his 8 sword style, I think. That's what it was called. But anyway, Sasuke would still have Samehada. He would still be trying to hunt down Itachi as normal, as he did not go to Orochimaru. And in the process of Naruto and Taiga Killer Bee heading to this, whatever the place they were isolated in, Sasuke would sneak off to find Itachi. Tsunade wouldn't actually make him a rogue ninja because, she knows what he's doing. And she actually made this an S-rank mission for him to bring Itachi back to the village because they need him now more than ever. So, since Sasuke does know the truth, he is going to attack Danzo, but not at that moment. He's actually going to attack Danzo when he's at his root agency when he's gotten Itachi back, which is going to be after the part I'm talking about right now. And Sasuke would have his Mangekyo due to just pure training, not eternal. He would have his Susanoo. He would have the half body, the half complete Susanoo. It'd be the part just for the perfect. So basically the upper body with the rib cage, the clothes, and the head and all that. Basically, I'm pretty sure it's a level above Itachi's. So Itachi, realizing that, the time is coming, he would end up going to that same place as he did in Canon where they fought the first time. Which I don't know where that was, but they fight. Except Sasuke doesn't kill him. Instead, he basically makes it to where, he basically makes Itachi run out of chakra. As Itachi's kind of confused because Sasuke didn't kill him. As he thinks Sasuke had gone back on his word and begun to call him weak. But Sasuke would just ignore this and say that I received a mission from Lord Okage to return you to our village. I also need your help to finish off, an old friend of ours. As Itachi would be a bit confused with this, then he realized who he was talking about. Say, wait, that old bastard's still alive? Thought he'd be dead by now. Oh, well, I did swear on Shisu that I would kill him. So, better now than never. So, they'd return, basically, after Sasuke gets the Eternal Mangekyo, Itachi would too. Well, now they don't have to worry about going blind. And, neither of them have to worry about going blind. The reincarnation cycle will be broken, so no sun and moon seal. Yeah, there'll be no sun and moon seal. There will be no 6-path sage mode. The reincarnation cycle would have been broken, so, yeah. Well, it wouldn't have been broken, it would have been altered. To the point where, instead of Ashra Indra, Hashram, and Madara, so each time the reincarnation cycle, it basically swaps who's reincarnating. Instead of keeping up with Ashra and Indra's souls, it actually changes to the souls of the reincarnation. So next time the reincarnation cycle would happen, instead of Ashram and Madara or Ashra and Indra, it'd be Naruto and Sasuke. That's basically what I'm saying. Though the souls will still have traces of Ashra and Indra in them. Kind of like the way they do if Ashra and Indra had reincarnated into them. But the link gets weaker as they continue to reincarnate, kind of like the users of One for All, until eventually they'll fade away. Because they're so far from their original source. But we don't have to worry about that here. Itachi and Sasuke would go back But they'd make a pit stop at the Root Foundation because, well, they are going to kill Donzo, and they're not wasting any time. As they'd immediately go and attack the Root Foundation, killing any and all of the Ombu there until they reach Donzo. Sasuke with his Eternal Mangekyo activated, and Itachi with his own. And I'm gonna say for plot, they both have flame control because, well, no, Itachi would have infinite Tsukuyomi because he got Shisui's eye. So, yeah, as well, I'm gonna say that the two Uchiha brothers, due to them being so compatible, they can actually fuse their Mangekyo abilities. So, basically, Sasuke will be able to use his flame control and the infinite Tsukuyomi, is what I'm saying. As they can link their minds together through their Sharingan. Seeing as they can put Genjutsus to their Sharingan. They would look each other in the eye, and then they'd both cast the same Genjutsu. Well, Itachi would cast the Genjutsu, but the chakra would be connected, and their minds would be connected, so they share it, basically. So, basically, they'd spend, well, since it's not just Itachi's chakra in this infinite Tsukuyomi, Itachi can extend it to well over a week in there. So it'd be like Kakashi. It'd be like what happened to Kakashi, but many, many, many times worse. Because one, Itachi doesn't have to worry about going blind. Two, he has basically double the chakra as normal. Well, not even double, like triple the chakra as normal. Because Sasuke has almost Uzumaki's levels of chakra because of Naruto's intense chakra training and his shot and his incredible chakra control. Plus, he has the Eternal Mangekyo, so he won't have to worry about running out of chakra or going blind, so he can use it as much as he wants. So, it, in the real world, it was about 20 seconds, but in the Mindscape, it was a week. It's like a week and a half. Danzo, at this point, would be brain dead, honestly. He'd just be brain dead. His mind would have fallen apart, would have been ripped piece by piece. Just like Sasuke's was when Itachi put him in Infinite Tsukuyomi. So, well, Danzo would just collapse, foaming out the mouth, as, well, Itachi would finish him off, as he'd say, and that's for Shisui, you bastard, as he'd slit his throat. He'd take the Sharingan out of, well, his arm and his eye, as he'd destroy them. Because what else would he do with them? Well, he wouldn't destroy Shisui's other eye. He'd put it in replacement for one he had that whole time. So, yeah, he would have much better control over not Kodomatsukami, Infinite Tsukuyomi. Anyway, well, as they would leave back to Leaffield, they would report into Tsunade as not long after, and Ambu reporting that Danzo had been executed. Well, Danzo had technically, he had been assassinated. As Sasuke didn't do this under any sort of orders, he just wanted to kill Danzo. But there were no traces of anyone that did it, so they wouldn't be caught. As all the Anbu who worked for Danzo were dead, and all the ones who didn't were not in his foundation hideout. So there were no innocents slaughtered. They were all just spies working for Danzo. Pretty sure Mifune, like the leader of the samurai village, and Danzo were working together, so he'd be pretty mad about this as well. As he'd know who killed Danzo because he knows Itachi's fighting style, as they'd fought before. Because he put a bounty on Itachi. But Itachi would have plenty at this point. Because, well, he was a rogue ninja for what, 10 years? No, 8 years? So, you know, Itachi kind of doesn't even care at this point. But, well, Sasuke would also be in the bingo book. Naruto being an S rank ninja, Sasuke, well, Naruto being a high rank S rank ninja, as there is no way to actually defeat him according to the bingo book. Sasuke would be mid tier S rank, though it's say to avoid him at all costs if he's near, well, the Monkey King, Naruto Uzumaki. Itachi would be pretty sure he was an S rank in the what bingo book. As well, yeah, his rank would stay basically the same. Just his bounty would increase. And since Mifune would be alone, he'd feel the whole pressure from the five great nations. So he would eventually back down because he no longer has a spy network. Because Donzo was his spy network. Well, I'm gonna say Donzo was. I don't know. I haven't watched Shippuden for the most part. Just know the plot. Anyway. Anyway, well, let's get back to Naruto, who was with Taiga and Killer Bee in this isolated place, which I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if it was an island or a mountain. You know what? Just because I'm gonna make it the land of monkeys because I wanted to be. Because they had no idea where to put and Naruto, Taiga, and Killer Bee because there was because Obito could teleport to literally anywhere. Well, anywhere within that dimension. As Obito can only go to those two dimensions. He cannot go to any other. Only Otsutsuki can go to the others. Well, Otsutsuki and gods. But, Otsutsuki and gods. They're pretty close together, but they're not gods. So there's a god of the Otsutsuki, but the Otsutsuki aren't gods themselves. They're more like immortals. They're basically like Cain, the cursed son of Adam and Eve, to the point where they're immortal, but they can be killed. Well, they can be killed, and they're not exactly powerful. They're just immortal. Pretty sure Cain can be killed, but the day he dies is the day the Earth is destroyed. So, not really sure if you want him to die or not. He's probably sitting in here somewhere or something, but I'm not worried about that. Anyway, well, Naruto, Naruto get the idea to send them to the land of monkeys because he's the only one who can appear there, seeing as the third Hokage had retired a while ago. The third Hokage had been keeping in shape, so he'd still be fine, somewhat. The third Hokage would still be in shape relatively. And Mori Huey had been training harder than ever. Because he saw just how fast Naruto had surpassed him. And he realized that he needs to train and actually train. Seeing as in the clone dimension, anything you imagine just happens. He doesn't need to eat, sleep, or anything. He just trains consistently for years and years on end. Because Naruto hadn't summoned him for 3 years, he just trained for 3 years straight. And there's no such thing as exhaustion in our clone realm because the clones run on your own energy. So they just chill in their own dimension until they're summoned. So there's no There's no energy, there's no time limit or anything. And the more and more Yui trains and gets stronger, it actually helps Naruto get stronger because more Huey's power is proportional to Naruto's power. So whenever more Huey gets, let's say, twice as strong, Naruto gets twice as strong. The proportion stays the same, but their strength does increase. Roy Huey does realize this, but he knows that he needs Naruto to get as strong as he can if he ever ends up fighting Kaguya, because he can sense her power. Morgan, for the most part, is just ignoring it, as he's more focused on the planet itself, because they've been showing increased activity in the region around Earth, as he's mentally preparing for another war against gods. So, yeah. So Naruto would have taken them to the land of monkeys, where he actually would have gotten more training. I'm not sure if I said it before, but he did he did completely unlock Wood Sage mode. He perfected and everything. So his Wood Sage mode does look like Hashirama's. He does still have the brown hair, but his brown hair he likes to keep his longer and kind of look it'd be kind of like Madara's hair, but straighter. Not straighter, but it move up farther to his head. She kind of keep his in a ponytail type thing, like Aruka's. He keep his in a ponytail type formation, like Aruka's, keeping the sides cut and the top in a bun. So, well, Naruto would begin his training as he trained and train for weeks on end. Because, like I said, once he's determined, he does not sleep at all. Taio would realize that, well, he hasn't come back to, well, the place they've been living for almost 2 weeks. So she went out looking for him as she'd see he's training. As she'd run over, basically soccer punch him. If you know, you know. And she'd say, "What the hell are you doing? You know damn well you need to sleep. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you trying to kill yourself before the war even starts? You can't do us any good if you're passed out." Whatever. You know what? You know what? I don't even care anymore. See, this is why I hate you. You're so dumb. You do the same things all the time. You don't learn. What is wrong with you? Honestly, I just think there's something actually wrong with you. Now come and eat lunch. She did come out there to get him lunch at the same time because, well, he kind of just vanished, and she had a feeling he might be training. She walked away, kind of mad, kind of blushing, but Naruto kind of he just laughed it off as he blushed as well. At this point, our ship would be about the point of, well, they would have accepted that they had feelings for one another, but would be too scared to tell the other. Because Taya would have grown up never trusting anybody, and Naruto doesn't trust love, period, because of what happened previously. So, yeah. So, Naruto would have went to lunch as he and Taya would be together. Killer Bee would be out, basically doing his thing, kind of just rapping with the monkeys because they're chill like that. as well. They'd be sparring with him, training him in their fighting style and everything like that. As each of the monkeys would be about as strong as a Joni. And I know that's incredibly strong for a clone or just a monkey, as the monkeys did not fight before Morihjin came back at all. So, yeah, I don't think they did. As the new king was only there just for representation, he didn't like the fight actually. He wanted to unite the people. So, yeah, they just didn't fight anymore. So, anyway, Naruto would have well, Killer Bee would have been training with the monkeys. Really, the monkeys should be as strong as a Hokage. Like, it should be like three monkeys would be a Hokage. Or at least one of the monkeys should be as strong as a Sani. But, well, they got out of shape because they stopped training for a few hundred years. These monkeys live a long time. Like, these are not normal monkeys. They aren't just monkeys. They're kind of like they're technically demons. They're considered demons, but they're called monkeys. Anyway, Naruto would well, Naruto would have basically gone. Well, Killer Bee would have been training, rapping, doing his thing with the monkeys, learning new martial arts, learning the new sword style, and all these other things. So I don't think the monkeys actually use swords. I think one or two of them I've seen use a sword before, but they mainly use their monkey style, which I'm pretty sure mostly uses palm techniques, kind of like the gentle fist, but different. Uses palms and kicks for the most part. So Naruto, so you would be eating lunch together. Naruto kind of tried to work up the courage. Is well, he'd be about to ask her on a date, as he would just get her attention. And then Killer Bee would kind of just swing the door open like, yo, yo. Oh, God, that felt absolutely horrible. I'm not doing that again. No. You're not going to catch me doing that again. But anyway, Killer Bee kind of just swung the door open. It was like, what's for lunch? As, well, Naruto would kind of look away, as Killer Bee would immediately have known what he did, as he kind of just laugh it off. As Saya would kind of tell him that lunch is in the fridge. But she'd be kind of confused, because, well, she doesn't know Naruto has feelings for her. So she kind of just shrugged it off. And she looked back at Naruto, who was kind of turned away, kind of blushing a bit. And she'd ask Naruto what he was going to say, and she'd say nothing. Well, she'd try to press him on this because, well, she's really curious about it. She'd kind of be like, just tell her what you're going to say, damn it. But, Naruto would say, I was going to say anything. Then why'd you get my attention? I don't know. Just felt like it. She'd kind of just bonk him on the head. He wouldn't actually feel it. But, he'd kind of just playfully say, ow. But, you know how it is. Just more just for the satisfaction that, that you're vulnerable about them. Just means that you care enough about them to open up. So, anyway, well, they continue on with their day. Killer Bee goes out to train again because she's a tryhard. As Naruto kind of just says, oh, Naruto kind of just goes to sleep because he didn't realize how exhausted he was until he actually ate some food because he hadn't eaten anything all that time either. So his body was kind of starved of nutrients and he would have collapsed within another hour or two. but he didn't know it because of how much determination he kind of had on his shoulders. So he couldn't actually. His body was telling him to stop, but he couldn't feel it because of the pure adrenaline and your will just pushing him on. Kind of like how Rock Lee does when he's basically destroying his body, but he continues on like he can't feel it at all. So, well, Naruto would actually just fall asleep. Well, he'd actually go into a room, kind of shut the door, go to sleep. As he would just leave. He would leave, go to sleep. Talia would kind of just sit there thinking to herself, why I follow this idiot? It's just stupid, honestly. Why do I like him? I can do better than him. Makes the same mistakes all the time. But if he was smarter, honestly. Kind of forgot that I was counteracting Naruto's personality a while ago. So, I'm gonna make him a battle genius, okay? Kind of like Goku. He's gonna be a battle genius and a genius when it comes to strategic thinking, but not to practical thinking. So he does not think practically at all, but he will think strategically. So, well, you know, she kind of she sighs and sighs and sighs for the next few hours. Just thinking, why do I like him? Why do I even care about it? He's just stupid. Oh well, can't really do anything about it now. Might as well tell him. And she would kind of slink around. But she didn't know he went to sleep. She thought he was just sitting in there reading or something. So she would kind of walk into his room after knocking on his door. And she'd see he was asleep, shirtless, basically nothing but some shorts on. And she'd kind of blush at this because she'd never actually seen him shirtless. Because he always wears that white t-shirt. So she'd blush a bit, but then kind of get herself so she'd look, she'd realize that she'd never seen him sleeping before, despite all the time they had lived together, which would have been a good 2 months by now. And then she'd begin to wonder, how much does he actually sleep? Thought he'd sleep a lot, sleep as well. He seems pretty lazy throughout the day, but he doesn't sleep at all. Like, does he eat at all? Which Naruto would not have eaten all that much as of late due to all the training. But she realized that that lunch he had gotten was his first meal in almost since they'd gotten there, which was about 2 weeks ago. She'd kind of just be a bit shocked. Like, how could he go that long without any food, any water, nothing but pure just determination? Seems he's committed to this. Guess that could be his redeeming quality, seeing as he's just stupid when it comes to everything else. He's stupidly powerful, stupidly fast, or what else? He's stupid in everything but what matters in a battle. When he's not in a battle, he's as dumb as a log. Oh well. As she kind of began to talk to herself. So, well, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. She kind of just think this. She keeps muttering to herself. Naruto would have woken up. he would have woken up the moment she came in, but he would have just been in that sort of half asleep state you're in, where you don't want to wake up, but you're not going back to sleep yet, so you can hear everything around you, but you really don't feel like processing any of it. So you end up hearing it anyway. You process it all, but you just end up going back to sleep right after you hear it all. So you kind of forget like half of it. So I don't know what to do. Basically, it's the half asleep state with your eyes so closed, but you can hear everything, and then you just go back to sleep to forget half of it. So he goes to sleep for another 15 minutes, wakes up, and then he realizes that he he realizes that you had kind of said that she likes him because she was muttering to herself for a bit. As Naruto would think, nah, I was just half asleep. I'm just hearing things. Then he'd think of confronting her about this, and then he'd just be like, then he'd imagine what would happen. And she'd imagine just getting cursed out, being hit, kind of just being ran out of the house. As he'd think, well, being hit isn't all that bad, but all that cursing was kind of just, I don't want to hear all that. But he'd just get up. She'd just think, well, I'll ignore it for now. Well, it's time to go train again. As he'd get up and walk through, their dining room. As he would just kind of walk by, as Toyu would ask him, well, you going to train again? She'd say, yeah. She asked if he could take her too. As she hadn't actually been training, she hadn't trained at all because she was too busy making meals for Naruto, Kurumi, and herself for the next few days because she wanted to train. Which by this point, Naruto would have 85% of Mori's power unlocked. Yes, I know I'm doing this extremely quickly, but this series is ending off soon, so I can't just sit by without letting him get his full power. So, Naruto, Naruto would actually end up. Naruto would have Casey in him. Just need to say that now, because I'm not sure if I said it earlier. And uh, Tayu would have lava release by now. Naruto would have unlocked Yin and Yang release, because he unlocked KCM too, and he had the full nine tails. So yeah, he unlocked Yin release, Yang release, and Yin Yang release. And about Minato, he does know Minato is his father, but he has not met him yet. So yeah, as they train together for the next few days, uh, I kind of forgot that I was gonna make a whole big old chunk about relationship development because I hadn't done that yet, and I had been neglecting it a bit. So yeah, not really sure why I said that now, but they train together. She actually decides to show Naruto a secret because she hadn't told anyone else about her, Pandora's power. Because she had issues controlling it at times, but she had issue controlling it, especially when she was around people she cared about, like Naruto. So she just never showed it to anyone in the Leaf Village, and she only used it on missions where she was assigned to kill her target, where she in areas she wouldn't have to worry about destruction because Pandora's armor can run rampant if you don't control it properly, which is why they were so that's why the taboo on it was so strong. So pretty sure there was a taboo on it, or it was her armor that broke the taboo. Anyway, well, Naruto have actually just kind of they would have trained together. Naruto would have gone 50%, but she would have gone 100%. And yes, I know that this is an incredibly high amount. Yes, I told the Pandora armor is incredibly powerful. It should go way past should match 75% without the uh enhanced muscle thing. Without dragon armor, it should match 75%. No, with dragon armor, it should match 75%. The Pandora's armor should. Y'all could say I'm overestimating it, but no, Pandora's armor is incredibly strong. But I can't tell you an exact estimate of the power because I haven't read the manga in a bit. It's been about a year. I couldn't read it because because I don't know, I just got bored of it. And I haven't read the War Arc in almost 2 years, so, well, I haven't read the War Arc in almost 2 years. At least that War Arc. Well, anyway, Naruto. Naruto would have gone 75%, no dragon armor, but you would have been using Yaoi. As when Morrigan did fight her, he did need Yaoi. Pretty sure he needed the dragon armor as well. So, actually, I'm going to let him use the dragon armor too, because he doesn't use it enough. But he's going to go in its strength enhancing form, just so, well, he doesn't destroy everything purely off of speed, because he's fast enough as it is. She can move almost light speed, just off of pure non-chakra enhanced speed due to his natural strength. So, Naruto, excuse me, Naruto could move. Well, Naruto's moving incredibly quickly. Taiga is keeping up with him, so they're moving at about the same pace as they're basically doing the Dragon Ball battles, the Dragon Ball type battles where they're kind of just countering each other's punches consistently, countering each other's punches, countering their counters, and countering those counters with counters. So eventually, they be evenly matched until Naruto manages to score a punch on her, which would send her back as she charged back at him as they go into it again. Kind of like how imagine the clashing of two metal fists consistently over and over again, like that. Not in all different kinds of directions. It just facing each other, even strength, even everything. Kind of just yeah. Imagine if you were facing yourself. Basically, imagine facing yourself in a fight, having the exact same thoughts at the exact same spots to attack at the exact same time, as your punches would consistently clash with each other, kind of like that. As well, they'll kind of just be clashing their fists together. As in, Taiyo would find an opening as she'd kick Naruto, realizing, finding the weakness in his Taekwondo because that's what he's using. That's what he's using for this fight because he needs to brush up on it as he hasn't used it on its own in in a while. He hasn't used it since the last time they fought. As he uses his Taekwondo for training purposes, or really for sparring, because Taekwondo isn't. I know Taekwondo isn't exactly lethal. It's pretty sure it's meant to incapacitate your opponent. ITF Taekwondo is meant to kill your opponent, which is why, it's made to counter renewal Taekwondo. So, Naruto Naruto would end up getting kicked in the side due to Naruto was actually going for a kick from his right. Italia kicked him in his left side because he was swinging his leg too far outward. So it kind of he did stumble a small bit, but he got back on his feet quickly as he kind of reacted with the counter. As she counter this, as they go back to counter each other again. So Naruto finds an opening, decides to kick her in her solar plexus, which is like right at your belly button, around the abs area, but lower. It's almost like a kick to the nuts, but not a kick to the nuts. It's like just above it. That area around the point where your waist, your hips, and your stomach meet. It's around that area. It's the center of your body. It's essentially your core. If you get kicked there, it will wind you. That's why back kicks are so effective. And that's why they send you flying so far. Because if you're kicked there, it's going to wind you, it's going to stun you, and it's going to hurt. That's why in many kinds of martial arts, you're taught to aim there. And in basketball or other sports such as football, where you have to keep track of your opponent, you're told to watch that area because you can't move without your core. So anyway, he does land a hit in her solar plexus, which it was a back kick. Don't worry, he didn't use enough power to kill her. It only knocked her out. So she is knocked out. Naruto would actually be tired from this fight, because it was a pretty long and challenging fight. It was one of the most challenging Naruto's ever had, as it was harder than the fight with Jiraiya. Speaking of Jiraiya, he is there with the rest of Hokage's making a battle plan at their mobile base of operations. Else the attack on the Sand Village would have happened already, and the attacks on the other villages would have happened already as well. Yeah, all that would have happened already. Itachi would have joined the front lines, exposing himself as the Akatsuki spy, as they would have already gathered all the information they could get from him. So, yeah, he would have left Akatsuki, rejoined the Leaf Village, and joined the war effort. The war would have started. Naruto would be extremely anxious to leave the land of monkeys, but Tayuya would be the only thing keeping him there, as he'd be worried of her safety if Obito ends up finding this place. Though there's a low possibility if Naruto ends up summoning monkeys or anything like that. He could send a trace of chakra to the island where Obito could track it and find Tayuya. And the fact that, if he's leaving, she wants to go with him, and Naruto does not want her to go with him. Because if he's defeated, and there's a very slim chance that will ever happen, that she is their last line of defense. She's the last line of defense, keeping the Akatsuki from, getting all the shield piece. So, Naruto would actually, because I want that to happen, Naruto and Killer Bee, who are both anxious to leave, would actually sneak off in the middle of the night. Naruto would reverse summon them back to the normal world, as they'd still end up in the same situation as before, where Naruto, Case and KCM2 would kind of have to speed past A, which would be much easier due to, his natural speed being about as fast as A's lightning poke speed. So, he tried using his normal speed, as he basically had that same punch in the face as normal. As then, Naruto would concentrate his chakra to his feet. Actually, let's go back before that, like 10 minutes before that. As they'd be running towards the battlefield, as Tsunade and A would land in front of them. As Tsunade would say, Naruto, what are you doing? You're supposed to be in the land of monkeys, aren't you? As Naruto says, well, I can't just sit back and watch all of my friends, family, and innocent shinobi just die. As Killer Bee would kind of say the same thing, well, in his own way. But Tsunade would then say, you're the only family I've left. I can't afford to lose you. As Naruto would say, I understand, but this village means everything to me. It's the reason I'm here now. It's the reason I am who I am. And if I have to sit back and if I had a choice to either die or sit back and watch it die, falling apart piece by piece, I would sacrifice myself willingly for the village. I can't just sit back while my friends and family are risking their lives for me when I could be helping as much as they are. Killer Bee would agree to this as well. The same thing would happen. As then, well, Naruto would speed past him as well. They'd really, not A would still try to stop him afterwards, but Tsunade would end up stopping him. As she'd say, well, now you have to hold your, now you have to hold up your end of the bargain. Because, well, I'm not sure what I said because, but now you have to hold up your end of the bargain. And she'd just grumble and he'd agree to it. As B would still talk ninjutsu to him. So, yeah, he would calm down. As they continue on to the battle, let me change some stuff. One, let's say Taiyuda. Because I want her to stop Lava Star, she'd still have some of the Five Tails chakra, but she wouldn't be the Jinchuriki. It's actually, let's actually just say that he gave the Five Tails for the most part to Han. But Han couldn't handle all the chakras, so he gave a small portion of it to Taiyuya, who would have 10% of its chakra. Enough for Lava Style, but that's about it. As well, she would know the Five Tails' fighting style, because yes, the Five Tails, I'm pretty sure, is the creator of Taijutsu. He's either the creator of Taijutsu or he's the strongest in Taijutsu of all the tailed beasts. It might be both. But, well, yeah, he created Taijutsu. Well, I'm going to say he created Taijutsu. So he has the original Taijutsu style, which actually meant for four legs, but was adapted into two-legged style. So Tahuya would know the four-legged style, as it wouldn't be all that different from the toad style, but kind of different as well. Anyway, the four tails would be extracted, eight tails would be extracted. Naruto would still end up reviving Killer Bee with this. Well, he wouldn't actually be dead yet. He would actually just revive him with. He would actually just heal him with his plant style, which I've been neglecting in the past few parts. So he ends up healing everyone with his plant style. Yes, it does. No, my guy hasn't been injured yet. So yeah. So yeah, all the war with the Zetsus, the revived ninja, and all that stuff would still happen. Nagato's eyes would still get taken because, well, Sasuke would be on the front line. He would have asked Sakura to give him Nagato's Rinnegan. Sakura would have hesitated, and the same thing would have happened as a canon. As Madara would have gotten his Rinnegan back, the Ten Tails would still have been formed because he got the chakra remnants from the other Jinchuriki technically. So, well, yeah, the Ten Tails would be formed, but it'd be incomplete because he doesn't have all the Nine Tails chakra. So, yeah. Also, all the old Hokages would be summoned. Minato would pop out. Hashirama would feel himself being drained from Naruto's mindscape again. But this would be a different feeling, as the feeling would kind of change depending on the intention of the revival. The revival is for evil intentions, you feel a sense of dread. But if it's for good intentions, you'll feel a sense of happiness, a bit of excitedness. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I'm going to say it is and continue on. Anyway, well, Hashirama, Tobirama, Minato, the third, all the old Hokages, all the old Kage would actually be revived. And yes, it's more than a canon. That does include the ones that Kabuto revived for, the thing, the attack on the Sand Village. So yes, all of them would have been revived, as they all would have one directive, to defeat Madara and the Zentills, which by this point would have been completed and actively being absorbed by Obito. Which Madara was not revived because they had a feeling Madara was already up to something. And when they tried to revive him, they couldn't, so yeah. Minato would recognize the masked man as he'd go in immediately to attack. As he would have talked with Naruto after revived, they'd still have to talk. But instead of it being in Naruto's mindscape, it'd be on a battlefield. So yeah. As Naruto would kind of explain his life up to that point, Minato was very happy because he did not, he did know about Kushina's heritage to Tsunade and all of that. As he'd say to Naruto before he rushed off into battle, that his mother would be so proud of him. So Naruto would smile at this, as he's kind of just flying Raijin off. He just flying Raijin off into the battle with Obito. As well, basically, he'd be absorbing the Ten Tails into his body, and Minato would kind of just make it as challenging as possible. And when he still absorbed the Ten Tails, Madara would run a rebirth using Obito's body and cast Infinite Tsukuyomi after absorbing the Ten Tails. As that's right. The Naruto's Nine Tails chakra would have been somewhat absorbed. I'm not sure how he actually died. I think he died by having the Nine Tails chakra absorbed, and then he got it back or something like that. But yeah, he does still meet the Sage of Six Paths along with Sasuke. But Naruto is aware of whose reincarnation he's supposed to be and why he's Hashirama's. Excuse me for that. Excuse me. Come on. Okay. Anyway, Sasuke would be informed. All that stuff still happens in this canon, except no Sun and Moon seal for them, as they are much more powerful. They'll be about as powerful as the canon counterparts at this point anyway. As they would awake, as they'd go on to fight, Madara. And since, they have, four Susanos now, not four, three. Now they have three Susanos due to, Itachi, Sasuke, and Kakashi's, which Kakashi would have mastered his already before that point. Sasuke would have mastered his, and he would have taught Itachi to master his. As everyone had been training their asses off before this point, as well. I'm gonna have to go back for a sec. As Naruto, instead of Killer Bee interrupting that date, I'm gonna say he actually asked Sayya out and they would have been dating. And that point would have been around a month ago. Well, yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, back to the battle we're at. Well, uh, God dang it. Susanoo attacking, well, Madara and his giant Susanoo, which their Susanoo's would have stacked up to be about the same size. Naruto would be using Kurama's avatar along with his Morijin's full power. Yes, full power. No, not full. 85%. No. He would be using 80%. But, well, Naruto has had unlocked full power. No, he had not unlocked full power yet. He had not unlocked full power yet. So he'd be using 80%. As well, Naruto would still have Crown's avatar as they'd be attacking. As Naruto would have his dragon armor on, and the Kurama cloak would have the dragon armor type mixed in with the Susanoo armor. Kind of tend to get all black with the little tiger skin around the waist. Instead of, well, the scales, I'm pretty sure is what it was. As it would still have the wings from Kakashi's and the Totsuka blade from Itachi's and the Yatsuka beach with it. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it, so I'm not going to go into that. So, they would actually begin to fight as they'd be clashing blow for blow because Naruto's 80% is equal to Madara's 10 tails power along with well his revive power, which Madara would have access to full power because he used Madara's original body for this. So yeah, well Madara kind of revived himself so he'd have full power anyway. So yeah, Kabuto would have been dead. Well, no, he wouldn't be dead. He didn't die. Kabuto would just be off somewhere like Kabuto normally is. So yeah, as Madara would eventually cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, putting everyone but Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, Itachi. I'm gonna say Itachi stays awake due to his eternal Mangekyo. Sasuke the same. Naruto because his godly aura makes him invulnerable to Genjutsu. Yeah, makes him invulnerable to Genjutsu. And Kakashi due to his Mangekyo as well. A Mangekyo, someone with a Mangekyo should probably be immune to Genjutsu of another Mangekyo Sharingan. So, yeah. That's the only Genjutsu that could actually affect someone with a Mangekyo Sharingan. Or Genjutsu on the level of Otsutsuki or Rinne Sharingan Genjutsu. Pretty sure Infinite Tsukuyomi is Rinne Sharingan ability, but I'm gonna say if you have a Mangekyo, you should be invulnerable to it. Just for plot's sake. So, everyone else would be knocked out except the people I mentioned and the revived Kage. But they would have all been resealed because Madara wouldn't have time to deal with them. And he has wood style, so he would have easily just destroyed all of them. So, yeah. As Zetsu would still stab him in the back, as Kaguya would revive herself. Naruto and everyone would try to fight Kaguya, but they'd still basically get slapped normal. They would get bodied. As Kaguya would not be happy at this very moment in time because, well, she for one is pretty mad that, well, a mortal or a so-called mortal has the power of a god. Meaning, and she's saying when she's talking about this, she's talking about Naruto as she consents his godly presence. As she's mad that this abomination of a being exists on Earth. The Earth she created, that she put chakra on, and that it possesses her chakra. So she's not happy at all. About the whole seeing them as mates thing, that's not happening either. Pretty sure she held back because of it, so because she didn't want to kill Naruto or Sasuke, but well, she wanted to kill everybody else, and she just wants to kill everybody now. She's kind of just lashing out in anger, saying she'll kill anyone and everyone you love, well, anyone and everyone they love, as this kind of motivates Naruto, because well, he begins to think of well, the Leaf Village, his girlfriend, his well friends, people he calls family, his actual family. Well, Tsunade, who had been knocked out and is being healed at the moment by Sakura. So yeah, this pushes Naruto to unlock 100%. As Naruto would unlock 100%, go blue-eyed God mode, which for those of you who don't know, I don't think I ever said he unlocked blue-eyed mode before now. But yes, he unlocked Black God mode. So, well, he had actually gone and absolutely bodied Kaguya, as there was absolutely nothing she could do. So, he would basically, well, since they don't have the Sun and Moon seal, they can't really seal her, so they would actually end up having to destroy her. And, well, since Kaguya's chakra isn't technically a part of her anymore, well, she it won't disappear when she dies. It'll just disperse the chakra that she had gathered up all around the earth. And the Ten Tails and the Nine Biju would actually just well, they wouldn't disperse in the chakra. They'd reform, but as their own beings, not as part of Otsutsuki or anything like that. As they'd no longer be connected to Kaguya. Though Kaguya could be revived with the impure reincarnation, and she could revive herself like that. That's not happening here. So yeah, Kaguya dead, like actually dead. She was destroyed by a combination attack. Well, a planetary Rasen Shuriken. Well, a tailed beast planetary Rasen Shuriken. And she was killed by that. A combination of well, Indra's arrow mixed with flame control, as well as the Yatsuka beads and the final, well, lightning blade, black lightning blade, which Kakashi can only use black lightning a few times, otherwise he will destroy both his arms and his legs, as well as his eyes. As he did go partly blind because of it. But, well, Obito's other eye, he had actually taken it out before Madara killed him. Well, before Madara revived himself in his body, so, yeah. But he would have had Nagato's Rinnegan, so, yeah. Kakashi would replace Obito's eye, the blinded eye, with the other eye, so, yeah, he would be perfectly fine. Naruto would have to fix this one too, so he could turn it on and off. But, well, yeah. As, well, Kakashi would go to his wife and daughter. Sasuke would go, he'd still marry Sakura, but Itachi would end up being a loner because he kind of killed his girlfriend during the Uchiha massacre. Well, no, I'm gonna say he didn't. But she faked her death and left the village because Itachi told her what Danzo was trying to do. And she knew Danzo would just go after her anyway and kill her in the shadows. So, yeah. As well, he would have tracked her down as they would have agreed to this. at some point a year earlier, as they agreed to meet up when they were 20. As they went to this predetermined location, which would be the town Tsunade was in when she was drunk and Naruto had found her. So yeah, Tachi and her would have met up in this town, and they would have lived their life together, like they should have the first time. In the Leaf Village, Sasuke, Sakura, Sarada, and all these other people, Naruto, and Tayuya. Naruto, well, as we time skip a year, Naruto would have proposed to her. They would have gotten married and had kids. As well, would make this happy ending. Well, because I wanted to make this happy ending. So yeah, this one be ending it off. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. Please comment down below if I could have improved anything. I'm hoping this video will be around 2 hours long because, well, I've been dragging this series on for way too long. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And, well, peace.